Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be talking about another question called maximum element in stack, and this is what it looks like on HackerRank, so you can go check it out. So let's now get started with an example first. So suppose this is the input given. Now according to the question, the first line will be the number of queries, and if the first number is 1 in a query, then we are supposed to insert the value into the stack. If it is 2, then we are supposed to pop the value, and in case it is 3, then we have to return the maximum value in that stack. So let's now follow this input and see if we get the desired output. So 10 here means 10 queries, 1 and 97, so we will be inserting 97. 2 means so we have inserted 97 in one stack, and there is another stack called stack max, which we will be maintaining in order to return the highest value. So since this is empty, we will be inserting 97 here as well. Now we have 2, which means pop the element. So this will be popped, and it will be popped from here as well. Next comes insert 20. So we insert 20 and here as well because it is empty. Now pop. So we'll pop from both the stacks. Now insert 26 and here as well. Now insert 20. But we will not be inserting this 20 into stack max because 26 is already greater than 20. Now pop. This means pop the topmost element. Then comes this 3, that is return the highest value, that is print the maximum value. So this will be this can be found from the stack max. So here the topmost element is 26, so 26 should be printed. Next insert 91. So since 91 is greater than 26, so that will also be pushed into the stack. And lastly, print the maximum value. So again, looking at stack max, 91 is the topmost element, and that is what should be printed. So 26 and 91 are the two outputs, and that is what is desired. So this is correct. Now let's look at the code. Firstly, we will be declaring variables, initializing them, and so there is integer variables and there is a string variable. We are taking a string variable because we need to take an entire string as input, like 120, 1 and 26, again 1 and 20. So we cannot just take an integer value because that will not count the spaces. Next we have to create two stacks. So stack S and stack max, which will be having integer values as denoted by this. Now we'll be taking the number of queries input. Now here we'll be using this cin.ignore. This means that we will be flushing the buffer values in cin. If this is not done, then the rest of the code will not be executed properly. So this is an essential step. Now we have our for loop. For int I is equal to 0, I less than n, and I plus plus. So this means that this has to run till the end of the query, till the end of the number of queries that we have. So first is get line, cin comma query line. Now this here means that we could have used simply cin, but then it would not take white spaces into consideration, and it would just considering this case. So had we written cin, it wouldn't have taken 91 as the input. It would have taken just 1, and as soon as it would have encountered a white space, it would have stopped. So that is not what we want. We want the entire string as our input. So next we have our input string stream. This is creating an object ss and query line. So this here basically means that the input query line that we have taken, we now want to separate it into blocks of variables. So this object created, we'll be using it here, and the first part of this query line will be stored in query underscore instruction. Now this will be an integer value because that's how we created it here, as you can see. Then the second part of this query line will be query underscore data, and this will also be an integer value as we have created here. So now let's move to our switch case, as you must have expected. So this is case 1, that is if the first part of query line is 1, like in this case 1 and 91. So this means that we have to push the element. So obviously it will be pushed into stack S, and in the parentheses we'll be having query underscore data. Now if the stack max is empty, or if the value, or if the topmost value is lesser than the data we want to push, only then this value will be entered into stack max, and once that is done we'll break from here. Now if this is not the case, if it is 2, if it is just 2, then it's very clear that we'll have to pop from stack S. But if the topmost value in both the stacks is equal, then we will pop it from both the stacks and not just stack S. So we'll break from here. Now the third case is when it is 3, that is when we have to return the maximum value, print the maximum value. So we will just see out the topmost element of stack max, as we did it diagrammatically here. So I hope this was clear, and let's now code the solution. So let's now code the solution. So firstly we'll be creating our variables, intent query instruction, query data. Next we have string query line. Now we'll be creating our two stacks to store integer values. So int s, stack max. Now we'll be taking the input and then cn.ignore to flush the buffer values so that the rest of the code runs properly. And now we have our for loop. So int I is equal to 0, I less than n, that is for all the queries. So now get line cn comma query line. Now this query line has to be split into variables. So we'll be using input string stream, I string stream, creating an object and passing query line into it. So ss query instruction. So the first part of query line, this is our query line. This here 120 and 191, 126. So the first part of this query line should be query instruction, and the second part should be query data. And as we have discussed, we use getLine here because if we simply use cn, then it will not process anything after the white space. It will only consider 1, but not the 91 after the white space. So in order to get the entire line as input, we have to use getLine function. So after this, we will be using a switch case, switch query instruction. So case 1, that is when query instruction is equal to 1. So we will obviously push the element. So s dot push query data. Now we have our if condition, that is if stackmax dot empty, that is if it is empty or if the topmost element in stackmax is less than or equal to query data. Only then we'll be pushing this query data into stackmax, as you can see, as we have done here. And once this is done, we'll break from the first case. Next we have case 2, that is when query instruction is equal to 2, we'll have to pop the element. So if the topmost elements in both the stacks is same, we will pop it from stackmax, and s dot top will anyways happen. So once this is done, we'll break from here. Then comes case 3, that is we'll have to see out the maximum value. So see out stackmax dot top endl. And now let's end this. So I hope this works. So let's now run the code. Okay, so this is the test case that we discussed, and this is my output 2691, and this is what is expected as well. So let's now submit the code. Okay, so all test cases cleared, and I hope this video was useful, and thank you so much for watching.